It's Friday afternoon. You know, the anxiety, you know, you're getting ready for surgery. The surgical nurse came in. Her name was Angie. And she came in, introduced herself to me and to Gwen and my daughter.
When I first met Dan, I introduced myself and let everyone know that they can call me Angie. I went ahead and asked him the major questions that we need to know: his name, his date of birth, who his surgeon was, all of that. And then I wanted to make sure what he went by, so I could call him and make him my friend and part of my family when he was back in our OR.
Angie being there and settling us down and letting us know what was going to happen. You know, there was no fear of the unknown then, because I knew what the procedure was going to be, how long it was going to take, so that I didn't get worried if it went over. You know, and she said, don't get nervous if it goes longer, you know, because things will happen when they get in there, and, you know, don't freak out. We'll keep you up to date. We'll keep you posted on what's happening. Once you go out and talk to the family now in pre-op, more so than the patient even, it's the family that really is put at ease and know who that person then is going to be taking care of their family member, instead of just sending your family member away down the hallway and not knowing who's going to be taking care of them there.
When I did get rolled into the operating room, she was the first one there. She greeted me, Dan, how you doing, Dan? Here's what's going to happen. And just made me, and you know, you're getting ready to
Don't worry, I'm going to be with you the whole time.
Yeah, and you know, when you go in to have somebody operate on your spine, you know, believe me, there's plenty of anxiety there. You're concerned. And she just made it so easy and made me so comfortable. And like I said, I've been through this before. I've had this done before, and never had I ever had that experience. Never had anybody come in and introduce themselves and then treat me the way that she did in the operating room.
We got a committee together, and we had nurses. We had Greg, my manager, nurses from pre-op and from the OR, and sat down and thought about what was the important keynotes that we needed from the pre-op nurse. Things that we would need to get from the patient. Timing was really important.
As we kind of drilled down on these different issues over time, we started realizing that almost everything that we were identifying that could have been caught before the patient was set to go back to the OR could have been handled or maybe prevented in a handoff situation. Simple things, you know, even consent, paperwork, questions that the patient had. Oftentimes the patient, the first time they got to see an OR nurse was actually right before they went back into the, you know, taken into the room. And by that time, sometimes they were sedated, sometimes they had a procedure in which they were really drowsy, wouldn't remember much of anything. And now we're having results where, you know, families get to ask questions, get to meet, you know, the individuals back in the OR and have I think a richer, fuller experience.
I can tell, meeting them before they're sedated, more what they need from me to kind of relax and not be so nervous when they're coming back in the OR. I can tell if somebody needs me to crack a joke, or if you need, you know, you need your hand held, or I really noticed that I can kind of tell. You get a patient at the door, and I had one the other day. I remember you. You said you'd be here. I said, I told you I would be. So I think it's made a huge difference. And when they're more calm when we get started, I think the whole process is just a lot smoother on everyone.
It was pulling all the key players together and pulling the key players in consistently and often to identify and tinker and fix and smooth out these, you know, challenges. And we still have them. I mean, this process is far from perfect, but it's just like anything, it's constantly evolving. And once we feel like it's going to be perfect and fixed, something in the environment will change, and it's going to be right back to the drawing board. And how can we optimize this? How can we overcome the next obstacle?